Well, joining us now from Kiev is Dmytro Kuleba. He's the ambassador at large at the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. If this ceasefire holds and comes into force, Russian sympathizing forces will still be in possession of a large amount of Ukrainian territory in the east, including Crimea. Is that acceptable?
For us, it will be acceptable as long as the territorial integrity of Ukraine is not compromised. So we are ready to work with them. We are ready to find solutions to the issues they raised, but they should stay within legal and political framework of Ukrainian state.
So does that mean that there would have to be a handback to Kiev's control of both Crimea and those parts of eastern Ukraine now occupied?
This conflict started with the occupation of Crimea by Russia, and this conflict will be resolved when Crimea returns to Ukraine as its integral part. The same, very similar things can be said about Donbas. When our sovereignty and our authority is restored in Donbas, then we will feel that the problem is solved.
But that's not really what's being proposed from the 15th of February, is it? Because the pro-Russian forces would stay in possession of a large amount of the territory.
Yes, but we offered them a number of tools to legitimize themselves within the framework of Ukrainian legal system. There are elections, there are consultations that are ongoing. All we have to do at this point is to ensure ceasefire, to stop this bloodshed. People have suffered enough, and we need to bring peace to Ukraine.
And you are prepared to withdraw the Ukrainian heavy forces from the front line, are you?
And we are committed to this agreement, but tango needs two, and therefore terrorists also have to withdraw their heavy weaponry from the line as identified in today's deal.
But it's going to be a question, isn't it, of who moves first, of cat and mouse, if you like.
Yes, one of the biggest problems of this agreement is the lack of trust between sides. And there is a deficit of trust not only between Russia and Ukraine, but also between Europe and Russia. No one has any doubts that terrorists in eastern Ukraine are controlled by Russia, so all we need to see is a restoration of trust that will allow us to make further steps and implement this agreement.
Why do you think that the Russian forces and President Putin in particular have agreed to this when they appeared to be consolidating their position in some parts of Ukraine?
Well, implementing this agreement will be as difficult as negotiating it. But the situation now is also difficult for Russia itself. Its economy is suffering because of sanctions. The political pressure is growing. So this gives us hope to believe that President Putin and Russia will reconsider their policies in East Ukraine and will start implementing the agreement.
If the ceasefire comes into existence, would you expect that some of those sanctions would be loosened on Russia?
It depends on the sustainability of the implementation. One single step cannot be a reason to lift sanctions or to ease sanctions. Sanctions should be eased or lifted after the reasons for imposing them are removed. That's the whole point.
Why the delay now until Sunday if agreement has been reached?
It's a compromise that was reached in the course of negotiations. Our perfect scenario would be to see ceasefire implemented as of now, but the deal was brokered in Minsk to delay this date till February 15th.
And what is your understanding of the level of the fighting now on the ground?
Life on the ground did not get any better after the announcement that the deal was brokered in Minsk. Terrorists continue their offensive on Debaltseve. They are trying to take this city under their control, because this particular city is of critical importance for them. It's a big communications hub, railway communications hub, and they want to seize it before February 15th to de facto claim that this is their territory and they will not return it under Ukrainian control. But our forces defend the line, and we believe that they will be able to repel all these attacks.
Mr. Kuleba, thank you very much indeed for joining us.